Hello students, and we are going to be ready for our first exam. So let me talk about what that's going to look like. First of all, how do we set up a camera? I'm going to grab this thing and pull it around. Okay, how does that... Ooh, see? Part of this screen still can't be seen, which is a bit of a problem. Can I rotate this? It'd be so much more, but... There! Anyone who watched this would be able to say, I saw what was happening on the desk. Clearly I don't have my cell phone, which I used my computer's webcam because I want to be able to edit this video. If I used my phone and set it off to the side, then I wouldn't be able to do some of the editing stuff I have on here. But I expect most students will set it up. Fair warning, I spent just a couple of minutes trying to get this angled right, and I propped up, you can't see, but I've got like 3 different boxes sitting there so that it's propped up off to the side. But now, on your computer are going to be WebAssign, the applet, or R. I mean, I also have this window because I'm recording the video right now. So it does mean if something is wrong with your setup, I will try to tell you. I'll do a little in Zoom. There's a button I can do called Ask to Unmute so that your phone will make a sound. Otherwise, you won't hear any sound because everybody is going to be muted. You can't unmute yourself. I'll be muted. It's an exam. Obviously, I'm not going to make sound. So I will let you know if there's a problem. Please don't feel like you need to send me a chat message asking me if your camera's okay. The problem is the chat box just fills up with people saying questions like, can you check if my camera's okay? I'll tell you if there's a problem. I did one time have a student ask, can I get my calculator out of my backpack? And I felt so bad I missed it because the chat box was filling up with people saying things. So there's the setup. Only one camera. Some students want to try to have multiple cameras all at the same time. That makes it really confusing for me. Zoom doesn't organize with these videos go together for the same student, and it's my job to be looking at each camera view to make sure that it does show your whole desk and screen. I can't tell what's going on. You should be aware that you won't be able to see each other. You'll only be able to see me. I can see everybody, of course, and I'll be recording the session. So don't freak out if your mom or roommate opens the door and says, are you still taking the test? This happens to several students every semester, and it's okay. Please do make sure that your Zoom session says your name, because I'm going through and checking that all the students are there. We have had students take the exam without showing up in the Zoom session, which obviously is a problem. So iPhone is the most common name that students have when they log into Zoom, and it's like, I don't know who that is, so please try to be aware of that. What will it look like to take the exam? I have an old exam to just show right now. It may be that if you look earlier in the day, you might see that it has a password lock on it. That just means we're not ready for students to use it. When we get to the exam, we will take that password lock off. You click on this and it says, make sure that you're ready to start. The answer is, yes, I'm ready. And here we go. It looks a lot like a homework. Let's match this histogram. This guy. And when you submit your answer, it won't give you the red X or the green check. You will see, oh, I guess this exam is too old. Usually you'll see a little green thing that says this question was submitted. That's actually programmed in by us specially. So, I don't know if any of these say this question's been submitted. Here, I'm going to splice the video, and just there's what it looks like when it says this question was submitted. By the way, if you click submit and it does not make it to WebAssign, it's programmed to pop up a box saying that there's a big old error, could not connect to server. So if you click submit and you go back to the exam, that does mean that it was submitted and they did get your answer. That is unfortunate because I'd like to show you that. But you will notice right over here, we have a timer telling us how much time is left. Some students feel like this causes them anxiety. You can click on it and it will shrink to just this little bar, and that blue bar will drain as your time gets down. When it gets down to the last 5 minutes, the blue changes bright red just to try to maximize whatever anxiety you may be feeling towards the end. You want to submit each question as you go along, because I've had times like when the power went out. So do as you put in answers. I have no idea. I'm not actually reading the question. Make sure that you are submitting the answer. At the bottom, there isn't any I'm submitting the whole exam, I'm done button. Like, that would be nice. If you have submitted for every answer as you go along, then when you're done, you can simply close the tab and then you can close out the Zoom session. For students who have accommodations through disability services, your timer will say more than 50 minutes according to whatever accommodations have been assigned to you. And that should just be happening automatic. You don't need to do anything. If something goes wrong, just let me know. What happens if the timer runs out before you click submit? It'll actually submit for you. Now, WebAssign tries to be very nice. If you put in an answer, it will save the answer, not submit the answer, which apparently is a different thing. I wish it wasn't. I have had students who put in answers, which means they all got saved, did not click submit, but then closed the exam, which means the timer never ran out, which means it never submitted the answers. I have a special button that says go in and submit their saved work. If that happens to you, they freak out because they pull up their exam, and it usually takes a day. It'll take at least 24 hours for us to go through and make sure the exam's working right before it's released. But then when it's released, they look and their exam is completely blank, and they're like, oh, I know I took the exam. Okay, let me look. Oh, the button here says you do have saved work. I can submit it. So what are the things we're looking for? Things that students have gotten in trouble for in the past. Using ChatGPT. It's a great tool. It's not the right tool for this test. Or using their phone, hiding one of their screens, like if you have two screens, making it so you can only see one, or hiding part of it so that you can try to pull up ChatGPT on this little sliver thing. Yeah, we know to watch for that. Also, if there is a student who logs out of Zoom and then keeps working on the exam, there is a log kept, so we check for that as well. Overall, we're hoping that this is an exam option that is easy for students and free, which is a very big deal. We want you to feel comfortable. You can have food, you could play music, put yourself in an environment that helps you do the best on the exam. And if you have any questions, just let me know.